Hi, Taurus. This is your reading for the week of March 10th. And as I was starting this reading, I got a sense of you standing over a cooking pot. And next to the cooking pot was a whole cupboard door full of spices. And you're looking at the pot and you're trying to figure out what you should add now to make this better, richer, nicer. All these different things about this soup that you're making or this meal that you're making. But the feeling, cat hair. The feeling that I'm getting with this is there's a certain fatigue that goes along with it. You're not looking at the pot like it's, oh, what can I do next? It's, oh, what can I do next? What can I do next? And it's not that there's anything wrong with the soup. It's almost as though when I look at this image and as I'm tuning in, there's a sense of a quality of almost fatigue that is coming from having been ongoing working, and not necessarily consistently overworking, but just ongoing. Like whatever's been happening, there's been very little break in the kind of energy. And I'm getting a sense of some of this being familiar to something else I've said for you. And but I don't know, I don't remember exactly. But it's that feeling, Taurus, that you've got a belief, you've got a certain work ethic that in and of itself is really valuable and good, but that within it sometimes you lose balance to the other things in your life. And by not shifting out of that energy, that work energy, you can actually fatigue yourself a lot more than you realize. Because you're not necessarily working and working and working to the state of fatigue, but it's the consistency of the energy that becomes fatiguing. So what this feels like to me is you are being asked to, you're being asked to kind of step back and look at where you can change some of the energy in your life. Because what it feels to me very much here is that it's almost like you need to step out of that energy for a little while. Like I want to pick you up and move you aside in order for you to be in enough of a different energy so that something can shift. Because it feels like, it's interesting because it feels like the work that you've been doing is working towards something that can change. But it's like if you don't step out of the energy of working on it, it's going to be difficult for it to shift. It's like you need to lighten the energy now around you in order for all of the investment in time and energy you've made in something can actually almost like have new life breathed into it by taking your hands off it for a bit. And that's interesting. I didn't know I was going to say that. So the cards that are getting here for you is, can you create some kind of discipline for yourself that is about lightening up and taking care of you in a way that is not just going to bed on time and not just eating the right food, because even that can become part of the same energy of doing this to be in a good enough state so that I can do that. Can you do something that's gently frivolous, gently just even different and out of the ordinary? Can you spend some time sitting back thinking about some of the wonderful qualities that you've got? And can you just take a moment to really look at the fact that there is, do only one thing at a time, my dears. And that goes along with calm focus, just staying a little bit more, I want to say stopping, centered, grounded, that quality of letting the divine work its magic and trusting that if you let go of the reins for a little while, even if it's just intermittently but consistently, that grace is going to take over, that you can lean into that and let that happen. Now, the thing is, Taurus, I want you to know when I'm saying this stuff, I realize that you don't even necessarily feel that you're tired. You don't even necessarily feel like you need a break. So these are the things to pay attention to see if your energy is needing some kind of shift. Are you finding yourself more combative? Even just in your own head, are you pulling up things that create adrenaline in you by picking fights in your head, going back over old arguments, things like that? Are you finding yourself activated, really easily activated, and almost like wanting to engage in conflicts that you're seeing around you or hearing about? Are you finding yourself short-tempered with people or noise or pets that you normally would not be short-tempered with? Do you find yourself rushing through things when you could just as easily stop and take a break? Because it's often the rushing through things that makes us impatient with other stuff. So these are the kind of feelings or kind of activities you might find yourself in if your energy's already at a point where it needs to shift a little bit for your own well-being. Is that you can see it play out in ways like that where you don't necessarily feel the fatigue, but what's happening is there's an emotional fatigue that is making you more sensitive, more reactive, less responsive. Okay, so that's something to look at. What you can do is you can let go. You can let go a little bit and create some kind of space for yourself. It will not create chaos. It will allow you to, soften into just that space of, well, look at that. And the card that comes in, taking a break. Taking a break from working on making you or your life better, your figure, intelligence, communication skills, spiritual practice, self-love, self-discipline, sales quota, your mood. Take a break. That is what it seems like to be to me. And it's very interesting because this warning that popped, or this notification that popped up on my computer was, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? I don't have that app. I don't have that. It's not plugged in. It's an old thing that I used to use. It is no longer a part of my system. And so I'm looking at that and I'm going, yeah, are you willing to allow this app to make a change? Are you willing to allow yourself to make a change for the shift of energy for the better? And it doesn't have to be huge. It's just allowing a different vibration in there to come in and resource you, re-energize you. Nature, laughter, focusing on positive things, including your positive qualities and characteristics. The beautiful Rick Hansen technique of Dr. Rick Hansen, you can look him up. 6 times a day for 12 seconds. Let yourself really just rest for 12 seconds, embodying the feelings of good. When you taste your cup of coffee, when you pet your dog, when you look outside at the sky, just feeling that for 12 seconds. What Rick Hansen says is, if 6 times a day for just 12 seconds you can stop and allow yourself to feel that, then you're doing as much benefit for your system as a 30-minute meditation. So that's a really small, simple way of starting to shift the chemicals in your body, which will shift the energy. And likewise, if you can shift your energy by letting go of the work, that will shift your chemicals. So there you go. Both ends against the middle. That's it, Taurus. I feel like this is important because I feel like there's good things coming. And it's just a matter of kind of literally just stepping to the right a little in order to let it come to you. Okay? Take care, Taurus.